Hey, what's going on guys? Matthew Connolly here. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, I upload editing tutorials in Adobe Premiere Pro. I also give you guys just more of an insight in my creative process with music video creation, and I also upload behind the scenes of my music video shoots. So for today's video, we're going to be going over how to do a trippy glitch transition in Adobe Premiere Pro. If you don't feel like watching the entire tutorial, I will be providing a preset down in the description below for you guys to purchase it. It's the best way to support the channel, and it saves you guys some time. Let's hop into the computer and get started with today's video. Okay, so once you have Adobe Premiere Pro opened up, you want to have two clips for this transition, right? And we're going to drag those two clips into the timeline. And once the two clips are in the timeline, we're going to set the playhead right where those two clips meet each other. And we're going to press Shift left arrow key to jump back 5 frames. We're going to create a cut. You can either use the razor tool or you can use the keyboard shortcut. And then we're going to go back to where the clips meet each other. And we're going to press Shift right arrow key to jump forward 5 frames. And we're going to create another cut. So with those two cuts, we're going to highlight them, right click, press Nest, and we're going to label that transition, just so we know that's where we're applying the transition. Okay, so the first effect that we're going to be adding is a lens distortion. And we're going to keyframe the curvature, right? We're going to have the curvature at 0 at the beginning, and we're going to go right to the middle, right where the cut happens. And we're going to change the value. We're going to put that for like -64. And we're going to go to the end and reset the parameter back to 0, so we can get a gradual fade out. Alright, sweet. So for the next effect we're going to add is wave warp. Drag that onto the nested sequence. And the first thing that we're going to be changing is the wave type. We're going to set that to sawtooth. And we're going to keyframe the height, the width, the direction, the speed, and phase. And we're going to make sure that we drag those keyframes to the beginning. Let's set all those parameters to 0. We're going to set the pinning to all edges. Okay, so now we're going to go to the middle, right where the cut happens, and we're going to be adjusting some of the values. So for the height, we're going to do 87. For the width, we're going to do 55. For the direction, we're just going to do like 65. For the speed, we'll do like 40. And for phase, we're just going to do like 350. You know, all these numbers you can play with, tweak them however you like, but this is just what I did for this tutorial. And we're going to go to the end, and we're going to set those back down to 0. So 0, 0, 0, 0, and 0. Just so we can get a gradual fade out. Cool, highlight them and make sure that we drag them all the way to the end. The next effect that we're going to be adding is spherize. So it's S-P-H-E-R-I-Z-E. Spherize, it's under distort. So for this we're just going to create a simple keyframe at the beginning for the radius at 0. We're going to go to the middle and we're just going to crank that up to like 2000. This is going to kind of add like a bulge type of effect. And let's go to the end, and let's just bring that back down to 0. Alright, let's render that just so we can see it play back pretty smoothly. Alright, nice. We have a few more effects that we are still going to add on top of that. So the next effect that we're going to be adding is noise HLS. Drag that onto the nested sequence. And for this, we're going to change the noise to grain instead of uniform. And we're going to keyframe the hue, lightness, saturation, and the noise phase. Make sure all the values are at 0. Go to the middle, and we're going to start adjusting those values. So for starters, we're going to adjust the hue to 22. We're going to make the lightness around like 18 or so. We're going to make the saturation like 400. And then for the noise phase, we're going to make that like 350. And let's go to the end, and let's set all those back down to 0. So press the reset value button, highlight them, and drag them to the end. Next effect that we're going to be adding is a directional blur. Let's apply that to the transition. So for this, we're going to keyframe the direction and also the blur length. Make sure that the values are at 0 at the beginning. Go over to the direction, and we're going to make that 200. We're going to make the blur length around 140. And let's go to the end and just reset those back down to 0. We're also going to be creating a mask with this effect. So go right where the directional blur is in your effects panel and click this little create ellipse mask tool. We're going to drag those out just so it kind of fills the entire frame. Press invert and play with the feather. Yeah, for the next effect we're going to be adding arithmetic. It's under the obsolete video effects. We're going to scroll down, make sure that the operator is set to XOR. Let's keyframe the red, the green, and the blue values at the beginning. Make sure they're all set to 0. Let's go to the middle and let's just adjust those slightly. So let's do 190 for the red, 160 for the green, and for the blue we're going to do like 250. You'll start seeing like the effect kind of coming together with the whole trippy, colorful aesthetic that we're trying to go for. And let's go to the end and just reset all the parameters back down to 0. So the last effect that we're going to be adding is find edges. Let's toggle the invert button. Let's go to the beginning and make sure that the blend with original is at 100, just so we don't see the effect being applied. We're going to go to the middle, make that 0, and then we're going to go to the end and make that 100 again. Let's render that through just so we can kind of see what the effect's looking like. But yeah, that's pretty much the basics for this effect. Hopefully you guys learned something new, and if you did, please leave a comment down below and also give the video a thumbs up. And please be sure to subscribe. I'm uploading more content like this on a weekly basis, so be on the lookout for that, and turn on post notifications so you get alerted every time I do upload. Hope to see you guys next time. Peace.